What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick Kakis, and today, you did it again, didn't you? You waited until the last possible week to do your Lightfall prep. Well, don't worry, because in this video we have a ton of different tips and tricks to help you gain a significant advantage and get ahead when the new massive Lightfall expansion launches for Destiny 2. Be the guy that all of your friends go, how did he get to that level so fast? Alright, now let's get started here with the first thing, the infamous bounty prep. So essentially what this is completing bounties but not turning them in until the new expansion comes out, so you can essentially save your experience gains for when you actually need them. And there's a new, seasonal artifact that you're trying to level up as quickly as possible, unlock new mods, etc. So really, the only tip here is prioritize weekly bounties, right? Not many vendors actually have weekly bounties left. So you want to go to people like Shahan in the Cosmodrome, Petra in the Dreaming City, Varix within Europa, somewhere like Starhorse even within the Dares of Eternity. The clan bounties from Hawthorne are also going to be considered weekly bounties. And lastly, both Eris Morn and the Lectern of Enchantment on the Moon have weekly bounties. These give more experience than daily bounties, which are all over the place, so simply fill the rest of your inventory with daily bounties, and you really want to avoid repeatable bounties. Those give the least amount of experience. Now, moving on from there, guys, something else you really want to stock up on is Paraversal Halls and treasure keys from Dares of Eternity. Like this week, I'm going to be doing a ton of Dares of Eternity farming. Now, the reason you want Paraversal Halls is because when you open them up, they award you with just gear, blue and sometimes legendary weapons and armor. Now, this is extremely important because with Lightfall, because it's a major expansion, they're raising the soft cap all the way up to 1750. So during this soft cap grind, guys, every single piece of gear you get, even if it's a random blue, is going to help you climb in level until you get to 1750, and then from there to 1800, it's going to be a powerful grind. So you have to actually get powerful drops from specific sources. So if you get a crap ton of Paraversal Halls, you can literally just open them all as soon as Lightfall came out, and this worked in Witch Queen, by the way, and all the gear you're getting is going to increase your level, and you can potentially sit there, never leave your inventory, and get all the way to the new soft cap of 1750 just from the gear you're getting from Paraversal Halls. So yeah, that's why you want to farm them. Treasure keys, again, you want to save those because you can get guaranteed weapons and stuff from those as well, which can be useful in leveling up. Now, moving on from there, another big tip in terms of leveling up next season, this is going to be the opposite of the advice I've seen from a lot of other creators. You actually want to save and not grab a lot of the items from your season's pass. Specifically, armor and exotic engrams, do not grab those before this season ends. And that's because if you go to Bungie.net, you can access the previous season. So what you can actually do is that the armor in your season's pass is programmed to always drop like of level, and the exotic engrams will help you progress through that soft cap. So you can actually just save on to them, and then next season when you're doing a power grind and you, oh my goodness, my legs are falling behind, I really need legs. Oh, well, I've actually saved a pair of legs from Season of the Seraph, let me go onto Bungie.net, claim them, and boom, now my legs are no longer lagging behind, they've been brought up to parity with the rest of my power level. Very useful tip. Moving on from there, something you don't want to save is actually red border weapons. You are not going to need to hold on to any red border weapons because the actual currency you get from dismantling and completing red border weapons is going away entirely within Lightfall. But on that same vein, speaking of red border weapons, you want to complete all of the seasonal craftable weapons that became available this year. So stuff from Season of the Haunted, Season of Plunder, and of course this season. If you haven't gotten any of those weapons, you want to get them now this week before the vendors and the guaranteed ways to get red borders for them go away. So definitely there's a lot of good craftable weapons that came out this year. Make sure to get those done within this final week. Moving on from there, another tip here, a big change happening within Lightfall is that elemental armor mods are going away, so you won't actually need to have all of the different elements of armor present. You're not going to have mods that can only be equipped to a solar piece of armor, right? So the big thing is that means you can clear out a ton of your inventory space if you're hanging on to some kind of crappy armor only because, you know, it's your only piece of solar legs. You can get rid of those. And also, that really comes into play for your class item, right? Technically, you only need like one class item. If you have one artifice class item, you should be good to go for Lightfall. You just might have to change the mods around a lot. So maybe save a couple, but you definitely don't need one different armor piece of every single different element anymore. Moving on from there, guys, another tip here. Heavy grenade launchers are getting a significant buff next season. It's a great idea to, well, first of all, don't delete any heavy grenade launchers if you're cleaning out your vault space, etc. But also try to get some good ones. The one from the moon is target farmable, and also right now, as I'm making this video, the Nightfall weapon for this week is the Wendigo GL3, and the Adept version is one of the best, arguably the best, legendary grenade launcher in the entire game right now. I put out a video on how to farm it. That's linked up above. Definitely check that out. It's a really good idea to get a good one of those leading into Lightfall. But moving on from there, guys, this is going to be a bit more of an advanced tip, but it could really help you guys. If all of your engram slots are full, so if you were to get another engram, it would go to your postmaster, what you can actually do is go and beat a lost sector. Then your exotic reward will go to your postmaster, but that exotic engram will be coded as a lost sector exotic engram, meaning that what you can do is you can keep it in your postmaster until Lightfall comes out. And then, for example, we know Titans are getting a new exotic leg armor piece. You can actually decode it on a day that legs are dropping in Lightfall from lost sectors, and you should just get like that new exotic leg armor, because again, it's a lost sector engram. It's essentially like you've beaten a Lightfall lost sector and gotten that leg engram, but you've just put it in your postmaster and delayed that picking it up until Lightfall actually launches, which again means that you can farm lost sectors right now when they're pretty easy. You don't have to worry about leveling up to get the new exotics next season. And on that same vein, if you want to save up on engrams, remember that umbral engrams are disappearing. So get rid of all your umbral engrams, but you may want to save all of your prime engrams so you can turn them in when Lightfall comes out and get brand new world drop weapons. So keep that in mind. Moving on from there, guys, turn in all of your planetary materials. Those are being depreciated next season. Like, try to obviously stock up on as much glimmer as you can. You also want to make sure to take all of your mods off. Like the day before Lightfall comes out, actually there's going to be server downtime for the Monday before Lightfall. So on the Sunday, take off all of your mods from your armor, because the mod system is changing entirely. We have had in the past technical issues and armor being screwed up and so on from people leaving mods on, so it's a safe idea to just strip all of the mods out of your armor before Lightfall. And then, guys, the last tip I have for you here is simply that Ascendant Shards and Prisms and Legendary Shards are a very good idea to kind of invest in and maybe even try to farm for in this last week, because all three of those things are going up in value. Even Ascendant Alloys that right now you need to use to craft weapons with enhanced perks, those are being depreciated not next season, but season 21, I believe the announcement was. So you may want a few for just one more season, but again, in the future, those costs, a lot of the costs and materials associated with weapon crafting are just going to also need Ascendant Shards, Prisms, and Legendary Shards. So again, those currencies are becoming kind of the main base currencies for a bunch of different things in Destiny, so a very good idea to get as many of those as you can. And so guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.